Today I'm going to be talking about Activision Blizzard's fourth quarter 2018 earnings results. Let's talk about segment results. Activision had 53 million monthly active users this quarter, which is up from the 46 million it had last quarter. That's about 7% or 7 million people that are now playing the games more. Revenue grew 6% year over year to 1.41 billion. The main driver for Activision this quarter was Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It had a 40% increase in downloads compared to the previous installment, Call of Duty World War II, which only had a 30% increase in downloads when it came out back in 2017. King had 268 million monthly active users this quarter. It was up 6 million from the 262 we saw in Q3. A large portion of the success was due to King's Candy Crush Friends saga that came out last year. This had a lot of increased monetization benefits as well as increased retention rates for the game, which overall led to the revenue and MAU being up for the quarter for King, which is a plus. Blizzard this quarter saw a decline in its monthly active users, up from the 37 million we saw last quarter down to 35 million monthly active users for Q4. The stability in Blizzard can be attributed to Hearthstone with its latest expansion, as well as Overwatch, which has the Overwatch League, bringing a lot of attention to its game. One of the main detractors to Blizzard this quarter was World of Warcraft because of the expected decline in subscribers of post-game launch. A lot of this can be attributed to the hype that was around the game, and now that it's been out for a couple of months, they haven't really released a lot of good content in it, and yeah, it's getting kind of boring, honestly. Aside from that, revenues grew 15% year over year to $686 million. Blizzard also extended its joint ventures with NetEase to help create games like the Diablo mobile game they'll be putting together for release in China. Activision's year-end net revenue was a record $7.5 billion compared to 2017's $7.02 billion. For the entire fourth quarter, revenues were $2.38 billion compared to $2.04 billion. Overall, in terms of financials, profitability for the 2019 fiscal year is expected to be low due to this transitioning period Activision is in, and as also with an expected low frequency of new releases. This year they're going to be restructuring and making sure that they plan ahead for 2020 and into the future. Here are some risk factors that Activision Blizzard faces in 2019. Activision Blizzard sees that there will be lower in-game monetization this year because of the numbers that came out for Overwatch and Hearthstone. This can be attributed to the rise in Battle Royale games such as Fortnite and now EA's new game. It's going to bring a lot of competition to the forefront, and hopefully they'll just be able to stick it out. Esports development. Overwatch League and Call of Duty Professional League have been introduced and have yet to provide a high amount of return to Blizzard. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that will continuously grow, but as for right now, they're pouring a lot of investment, a lot of cash into this to keep it going, and so it's only a matter of time before we see a lot of return down the line. But as for right now, it's just a cash cow that's just taking out money. Lastly, I'll be talking about the PR disaster that we saw with Diablo Immortal during BlizzCon. There's a lot of criticism around this, that Blizzard is just out of touch with its audience and user base, having it go all mobile. I can understand from a financial perspective that King, being one of the most profitable parts of Activision Blizzard, has a mobile game, Candy Crush Friends Saga, that is bringing in millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And if Blizzard could get a really, really high-end mobile game out there that can bring in a lot of in-game monetization opportunities, then why not? But the way it went about explaining this to its audience at BlizzCon really had them in the hot seat. This is not to say that Diablo Immortal isn't going to be a success, but just the way they went about it, it just didn't fly well with people, especially at BlizzCon, who only mostly strictly play on PC. China is a great market. It has a lot of people there, And if they can get this game to the hands of all those millions of people, it'll be a success. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about the outlook that Activision Blizzard has for itself this year in 2019, its growth initiatives, plans for the future, what have you. Let's get into that. 2019 is going to be a big year for Activision Blizzard in terms of restructuring. Activision will increase development incentives in its biggest franchises, enabling teams to accelerate the pace and quality of content to support new product initiatives. They're going to be increasing the number of developers they have on all of their main big franchises by 20%. They're going to be focusing in on all of those games that bring the most amount of money and making sure that they deliver things that their fans want. Activision will be funding this initiative to further increase its development and growth in a lot of the main areas of its business by deprioritizing the non-developmental and administrative costs that are really not essential to making great games. In the news lately, we've seen a lot of speculation around the layoffs and how it's going to be impacting the company going forward. Now, I understand laying off workers that are just incompetent and not really contributing a lot to, the company and the product or the service that you're making, but 8% of the 9,600 workers they have is about 800 employees across the world. It is a global company. We're just gonna have to wait and see how this really impacts their bottom line and really see how the games turn out, because I know at the end of the day, this is a really, really big number. 800 people, that's huge. If you look at some of these articles that are out there, it's just talking about how it's a bloodbath and how just people who've been working at the company from only up to a couple months to up to like years and years, decades of work experience are just being cut out. And it's sad to see this, and honestly, it's not a good sign to see, cuts like this, but Blizzard is at a turning point where it has to really focus and pinpoint all of its energies and efforts from the C-suite level down to just the junior developer to the random associate level to focus on making good games that are very immersive and high quality, because as of late they're being beat out by Fortnite, by the new EA game, sorry I can't remember the name, all these new games that are coming out, and they've still got the World of Warcraft, their Overwatch, Hearthstone, Call of Duty, and they just keep making new and new iterations, but they have to make something that is their own and just as immersive as all their other games, but they have to make something new. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is just copying the other games because it has another Battle Royale feature. They have to come out with something new and innovative. Overall, this was a good quarter and financial year for Activision Blizzard. It made $7.5 billion this year compared to the $7.02 it had for 2017. Just in terms of revenue, it's making more money, but where it's really falling behind is innovation, really having games that are immersive. If you look at Blizzard's World of Warcraft, which is a game I can resonate the most with because I played it for most of my life, the game is lackluster right now. Battle for Azeroth is a couple months into its life cycle and it's already boring. If you just watch Twitch streams or go on the forums here and there, you'll see that just people are bored of the game, and the same can be said for other games on its platform. They need to be coming out with more innovative stuff, like I said earlier, more, immersive games that really capture the audience and not just copy Battle Royale features when they see Fortnite really taking away their subscriber base because it's something super new and super captivating. They have to, instead of copy, they have to create something entirely new, and that's a tall task. My opinion is that I think cutting the 8% of their workers is a good thing, unfortunately. I hope it has their entire team of developers from the C-suite down to the just entry-level associate bring in new, innovative, captivating ideas to the forefront, because they really need to be ahead, and they've been the best for a very long time. Now the newcomers are coming up. Epic Games is at the forefront now. They need to make sure they stay on top, and to do that they have to take this year of transitioning from a high growth environment back in 2017 now in 2019, it's going to be a slower growth environment where they can take their time for this year to really look at what products they have on their platform and see how they can build upon them. How can they make the next World of Warcraft expansion even better? How can they make it more like, in my opinion, like Wrath of the Lich King or like Mists of Pandaria, where it was so captivating, everything was new, and it wasn't as casual based. I think that just made the game boring, and I know this has turned into a World of Warcraft rant, but it's just the closest thing I can relate to. What I hope you take from this is that Activision Blizzard is taking this entire year to refocus itself, restructure its company, and making sure that it will be very well positioned heading into 2020 and beyond, that it can bring the most innovative games to its consumers and just be on top of all the other interactive entertainment companies out there. Hey guys, if you watched the video all the way up until this point and you really liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It'll show me that what I'm doing here is of some kind of value, and hopefully I can keep getting better at it. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think Activision Blizzard can do for 2019 and beyond. It really needs to restructure and really needs to refocus how it makes its great games and continuously try to beat its competitors. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.